Mary Linton appears in Red Dead Redemption 2 as Arthur Morgan's former fiancée and a reminder of a life that might have been. In their youth, Arthur and Mary were deeply in love. She believed there was goodness in him, and he held on to dreams of leaving the gang life behind to build something stable with her. But those dreams never quite survived the harsh reality of Arthur's world. Mary's family disapproved of Arthur's outlaw life and saw him as a dangerous influence. And gradually that disapproval, combined with Arthur's obligations to Dutch and the gang, pulled them apart. When Mary re-enters Arthur's life during the events of the game, it's under difficult circumstances. She contacts him to rescue her brother Jamie from joining the Colonians, a cult that has taken hold of Jamie's beliefs. Arthur is wary. His past with Mary was tarnished by resentment from her family, but he still agrees, driven by lingering feelings and a reluctance to refuse her plea. Arthur finds Jamie, persuades him to flee the cult, and reunites him with Mary at the train station. In that moment, Mary thanks Arthur, a simple gesture loaded with complexity. Gratitude, longing, and grief all mixed. But Mary's struggles aren't limited to Jamie. She also asks Arthur to help with their father, Mr. Gillis, who has sunk into alcoholism, gambling, and betrayal of familial trust. Selling a precious brooch that belonged to Mary's mother, for example. Arthur intervenes, retrieving the brooch, and walks with Mary to a theater as a kind of brief escape, an attempt to recapture fragments of their past. Mary asks whether it's too late for them, if Arthur can ever truly leave behind the gang life and make a future with her. He admits he wants that life, but he cannot promise it without hurting her, since his responsibilities and loyalties run deep. Over time, Mary and Arthur drift apart again. As the story progresses, Mary composes a final letter to Arthur, enclosing the engagement ring he once gave her. In that letter, she says goodbye, acknowledging that Arthur may never be able to abandon his world of crime and that their paths must diverge. The ring is eventually passed along, in the narrative, to John Marston, carrying Arthur's memory forward. One of the most poignant moments occurs during the credits, where Mary is shown at Arthur's grave, weeping quietly for him. That act speaks volumes. Though their romantic future was extinguished, Mary's love for Arthur lingers. It's a reminder that some attachments cannot be fully severed, even in death. Mary's character exists to humanize Arthur's journey. She represents possibility, regret, and the constant tension between who Arthur is and who he might have been. She forces him and the player to reckon with the cost of loyalty, sacrifice, and missed opportunities. In a world filled with violence and betrayal, Mary's quiet presence is a tragic echo of a life Arthur always hoped he might escape to, but never could.